Previously on Mike in the Night. To watch this episode in its full entirety and uncensored, don't forget to check us out live every Saturday on Rumble and Odyssey, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. You could find us at Mike Martin's channel on Rumble, and you could also find us on Odyssey. Also, you could also find everything you need to know about the show at realmikemartins.com. You could add us on Skype here if you want to call into the show and be part of the channel. It's telling it like it is, Mike in the Night since 2016. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. See you on the other side. All right, guys, welcome to episode, 517 of Mike in the Night. The globalists or WEF agendists or whatever those people are, whatever they want to call them for the week, because they give themselves awards, because that's how pathetic these losers are up top. These guys are so pathetic that they give themselves awards. That's how bad it is. They actually push back a couple of years and let things kind of linger a bit, right? If we could get somebody big enough to say, there's this nut bar up in Canada that thinks that 1 out of 10 Canadians will be euthanized by 2025. What a nut bar, eh? Even if he could do that, I would be absolutely grateful for, because of the amount of lives we could save. So let me go into what I'm trying to tell you guys here so you guys could understand. Let's go into a quick channel plug. And here we go. Is the real thing. Like, there's something so big in the works. Either it's a real big hot war that's going to wipe out a percentage of us. Either they're going to pull the trigger on a mass pandemic. Or it's going to be something. And it was something. And we've been warning you about something, and the something is here. But it's almost like, I think it was Dr. Mysterio I was talking to. I'm like, you know, you make all these predictions all these years. You try to get people online, trying to get them to see your points of views. You're an asshole for making the predictions, okay? And then you're still an asshole when they come true. So, it's true. So it's like you lose your family, your friends, and well, I haven't lost my family. My family's been on my side since day one, right? And all right, let's get into. So this is what I wanted to talk about at the beginning of the show. I did an SOS, a serious message to Joe Rogan from Canada. So yes, we've already agreed on this channel that Joe Rogan is usually 7 years behind when it comes to saying things. Is he allowed to say things? But I'm grasping at straws here in Canada. I am completely grasping at straws. If that guy could say, even if he makes a video to make fun of us, to say, there's this nut bar in Canada making fun of us, at least the word would get out and start putting the eyes on what's happening in Canada. Because Canada is a sinking ship. And it's really sad to see how this country has really started to go south. It started in 1993. But it became more prevalent in 2010. And I really hope he gets this message and entertains it. Like I said, even if the guy makes fun of me. And what am I referring to? Well, people that watch this video and they're really giving me a tough time in the comments is this video I made. Canada, more people are dying with no cause of death reported, but it ties into the money laundering. The Chinese gangs laundering money from fentanyl sales they're selling in Canada and taking that money and reinvesting it in the housing market and leaving middle-class Canadians disenfranchised. We didn't start saying this 2 weeks ago. We've been saying this since 2012. After our first channel termination in 2012, we had to kind of ease up on some of the terms we were using because a lot of people felt that I was a racist for calling out the Chinese Communist Party for taking over Canada. Meanwhile, Canada was deporting Portuguese out the back door. So this was the video I made, SOS. So I left a link for him to go to this when he watches this video. Hey everyone, I'd like to send a very urgent message out to Joe Rogan. So before people make fun of me, understand the situation that we are in right now. I have not been feeling well for a long time now, and I'm scared to go to a hospital. I'm absolutely petrified to go to a hospital because of the situation that we are in with the socialized medicine. I don't trust hospitals. They are basically, with ventilators and the Redimisphere, all that shit, they were murdering people. outright murder. And we were covering this. It's not like, oh, Mike Martins is now saying something. No, we were saying it on Mike in the Night right through from the beginning. And we were on board when we told you that we're going to pull the trigger on the pandemic. Okay? And that's why here in this video is very important. Now, this is what I don't want to become a reality by 2025. This is what I don't want to be, you know, when you say something, you make a prediction, like that video I made that a lot of people shit on me on from 8 years ago. They will raise interest rates to 9% by 2022, and everyone was shitting on me with that. Well, look where we're at now. It's past 2022, and they're going to raise interest rates to maybe 9-10% now to catch up with inflation. But anyways, I do not want this to become a reality in Canada. This prediction we made 5 years, 9 months ago. 1 in 10 Canadians will be euthanized by 2025. Governments will force anyone and everyone. This is a big one. And I'm really concerned about this prediction. Very concerned about this prediction because this is from last month, and that's the Daily Mail. So you could send that to your friends, that if you give them a website from something that's not the mainstream bought and paid for media, well, they're going to call you a conspiracy theorist. But the Daily Mail, that's a different story. So here it is. Exclusive. Canada is on track for another record-busting year of euthanasia deaths with 35% jump to 13,500 state-sanctioned suicides in 2022, DailyMail.com projection shows. This is not good, and they're predominantly picking on more Caucasian provinces or highly Caucasian European expansion provinces with more people that built the infrastructure, Canadians that fought in wars, war vets, Canadian old stock Canadians that are being picked on with this euthanasia crap. And it's really, really heartbreaking that this is happening in Canada. And I don't want this prediction that 1 in 10 Canadians will be euthanized by 2025. Governments will force anyone and everyone to come true. I can't have this coming true. And that's why I'm at a point where I'm grasping at straws to get the word out that there are my prediction, and I told you, and we'll say it again, 2024 will be the year of government sanctioned murder. And that we predicted that back in 2020. We predicted 2023 will be the year of the coffin. We predicted that 2022 will be the year of the protest. 2020 will be the year of the lockdown. 2021 or 2020. Yeah, 2020 was I got to go back to the videos. I have them all there already. And you guys could see what we've been predicting all these years. Democide, people are saying. And this is a wake-up call to Americans. And I've been very vocal on this channel. And I've been begging Americans to not give up your Second Amendment rights. Because if you give up your Second Amendment rights, it will go dark in Canada real fast. If America gives up their right to bear arms, Canada's finished. We're finished. So I'm begging Americans wholeheartedly to keep your guns. Don't turn them in. Please protect yourselves, protect your families. Okay, Ontario mayor can't afford to buy a house in a township she leads. Yeah, that's because you're Canadian. It's not for Canadian. Housing is for Chinese investors that want to launder the money through Canada. We've been warning you for 10 years. We could bring up a video from 2012 if you want, 2014, and tell you guys this. But yeah, and we've been warning you, Canada will be in a recession. Despite earning 90 large a year between her work as a mayor and regional councillor and with the local electric utility, she can't afford to buy a home in the municipality she leaves. Do I live at home with my parents? So the mayor will be living at home with her parents.
If anything, community is really important. So I really treasure these things. And maybe if we are even a community of 300, if you have 10,000 leaders around the world, 10,000 times, 300, that's 3 million if I did the maths correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's my parting words for you. To prepare a nation for war, you must first instill in everyday life hatred, fear, racism, and divide. Pray for us all.
Thank you so much, Ralphie. God bless you, okay?
See you guys.
10,000 Polish soldiers deployed to Belarusian border amid security threats. The Polish defense minister said that Poland must be prepared for further provocations from Belarus. And they're moving their chess pieces on the board. Poland is increasing the number of soldiers deployed on its eastern border with Belarus at 10,000 as tensions continue to rise on the border due to the presence of Russian mercenaries in the country. Polish defense minister, I can't even read that, announced on Thursday.
Construction jobs that are lost in Canada just in the last 1 month. Right now, that's a pandemic. That's a pandemic on its own. 45,000 construction jobs lost when Canada is in a crunch for housing, and it needs people to build houses. Now, if you're losing like 45,000, construction jobs, and let's say 2/3 of them are tradesmen, that's a huge loss. That's a big damage to a particular city or to a province when it comes down to building homes.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the fires that were happening in Lahaina on Maui, all right? And it's a clear example, all right, of directed energy weapon use, okay? You can look at the pattern of the houses as they are burned, and they're burned in like almost perfect squares. And then, the Catholic Church there survived somehow, so it must have not been targeted, right? Or truly a miracle, either one of two possibilities. And also the trees around the periphery of the development, all right? Some of them happen to survive too. Now, if that was a fire coming in, certainly everything around the area in terms of vegetation would have been flush burnt out, which it wasn't. So it's clear, and you look at the optics of the photographs of the damage, and you can clearly see how it parallels the horrible fires that were happening in California.
Right. Let me just interject here real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's the tree. There's the tree standing there. There's the tree standing there. There's the tree. There's the tree. There's the foliage on the tree there. It's plain as day. You could see. Look at that one right there, and look at the fire, the smoldering around the tree. It's plain as day, 100%.
Posting articles of news that they found on. So this is, was it Bill C-17, I think it was, or 19?
Who knows, man?
There's been so many of these damn bills. So we're well on the way to communism coming into this country, and once free speech is gone, that's it. We are done.
We are in a socialistic society now, because like here in BC, we have one car insurance company, one electric company, one gas company, and they charge us what they feel like. And we're already in a socialistic society. The public sector is bigger than the private sector, and the government's basically rule mob, or mob rule.
If I can quote Rockefeller.
Oh, piece of crap, yes.
Competition is a sin. You get it now? Well, you got these monopolies, and they can charge what they want, and that's the thing about communism. They try to equal the playing field for everyone, and personal productivity goes down. It's been going down in North America for the last 20 or 30 years because of all the...
Yes.
Speaking of goldfish, WEF orders Firefox, Chrome, and Safari to start blocking blacklisted websites. The World Economic Forum has instructed major web browser companies to begin blocking websites deemed undesirable by globalist elites. The WEF-controlled nation of France is the first nation to issue legal directive to web browser companies to block all websites listed as blacklist compiled by the Macron regime. And this is not the first time we brought up the French in blocking people. Remember, you were on the show, we talked about this, where the French are like spearheading this blockage of Twitter and trying to blacklist everything.
Yeah, they're trying. Gab in Pennsylvania, he said he's had a letter from the German government saying, you've got to block certain people, and he tells them to get bent because it's not in their jurisdiction. The thing is that you've got 200 odd countries in the world, give or take, and it might suit the WEF, the globalistas, to, start sending out these diktats to make this kind of thing happen. But there are other countries in the world that have absolutely no incentive whatsoever to comply with that. And you can always bounce stuff off of VPN.
Yes, you can.
I mean, they're going to have to track down millions of people to make something like this stick. Mm-hmm. So I think all this is they're just trying to buy time. It was like freezing the bank accounts of the Freedom Convoy organizers and, anybody else that tries to organize something, right? It's just tall poppy strategy. It's just the people who are responsible for these things. They attack them directly, and it kind of buys them some time to continue what they're doing without the word getting out. But, as soon as Fox fired Tucker Carlson, what happened? He started a show on Twitter, and Fox immediately started filing suits against him saying, hey, you can't do that. But apparently he can. So, they threaten you.